Hello everybody, we're in 2021 and thank you for joining me back here, enjoying me today with our very first video post for Forward Friday for the year. I hope that you had meaningful celebrations with the people that you love, and most importantly, I hope you were able to spend some time to think about what happened in the past year and how you can better be ready for the things that will be coming this year. Because we're still not out of the woods, we are still very much in the woods with everything that is happening around the world and with the health crisis, etc. And there's a lot more that we will be experiencing for 2021. It is not yet over. That is why it is very important for us to all hop on back to our Forward Friday habit and go back into our journey to finding our joy today. I am Cheksai. This is our first Forward Friday for the year. Let's start. Started, people started to pick a word that they would like to chase for 2021. And I thought, gawin ko nga rin yun. And so I said, ano kaya yung word na palagay ko pinakamagandang i-chase ko for the coming year? And it turned out that as I reflect, there's this one thing that I'm starting to develop that I do not want to continue to develop entering into 2021. And that is, I am starting to develop a certain amount of numbness, apathy, not being able to connect with my feelings and not being able to connect with other people's feelings accurately as I used to. It could be because of the isolation. It could be because of the fact that most of my relations and communications are virtual, or maybe because of the fact that we have been hearing a lot of bad things na parang wala na nakakagulat sa atin. That is not the way I want to go. So therefore this year, I am going to run after sincerity. Sincerity for me is not only being able to mean what you say or mean what you do. It is to be able to say what you mean, to do what you mean. But the bottom line is to feel strongly about things in such a way that whatever it is that you say, you really mean it. In such a way that whatever it is that you do or start doing, or the causes that you run after, or the life that you are living, is something that is true to you, that you feel strongly about it. That is, I think, the fundamental fact, the fundamental thing that we should develop to be able to live passionate lives, lives that are joyful because they are true to us, because we are living our truth. Sincerity. So I thought what would be good practices that I should be doing to be able to continue growing in sincerity. The first one, I think, is that of being able to throw myself questions every now and then. Minsan kasi pag nagre-reflect ako, I just reflect on what happened, ba't kaya nangyari yon, etc. I forget to ask myself questions that are feeling-based. Ibig sabihin, so how do you feel about that? Okay, this and that happened. This is why it happened. Are you afraid to tackle it? Ito yung mga gagawin mo. Ano yung hesitations mo? Ito yung nangyari. How did that affect you? Minsan, I always, ang nangyayari sa akin is I zone into the planning mode immediately without really asking myself the question, how I feel about it, how it has affected me psychologically, mentally, feeling-wise. So therefore, baka dumating lang kasi sa point na hindi ko na napipinpoint exactly how I am feeling at a certain time. And that's something I also encourage you to do yourself. No, kapag may nangyari sa atin, you don't only need to. You need to, but you don't only need to explain it to yourself or to move towards solutions agad-agad. Process your feelings as well. How do you feel about it? What does that remind you? Anong kinatakot mo doon? Anong kinasaya mo doon? Ano yung importante sa'yo doon? so that we can, take the most advantage over the things and opportunities na nasa paligid natin. Whether it is a positive opportunity or a negative opportunity, being able to get in touch with our feelings, define it, name it, say it, reflect on it is something that is very important. And I'm going to remind myself to do that this year so that I can be more sincere with my feelings because I know them, because I asked them, because I heard myself say it and admit it. That's my second point. Because of the numbness or because I'm not spending a lot of time defining feelings, minsan nahihirapan din ako to admit them. And when I say admit them, admit into the point na I reach out to other people. Nahihirapan na ba ako? Natatakot ako? Natutuwa ako? Sobrang masaya ako? Or sobrang na-excited ako? Because I'm not feeling those or not naming them very strongly, I don't reach out to other people to tell them about it or to ask help or to ask assistance or to process it with other people as well. That's something that I think I should be doing more this year, to talk about my feelings. It's one thing to process it sa sarili mo, it's another thing to bounce it off with somebody else as well. And the last one that I would like to pursue as I pursued my journey towards sincerity is to dig deep when I listen to other people's story. 2020 and then the coming year is going to still be challenging, and the successes and the sorrows will always be amplified. Yung mga masasaya, sobrang dapat natin i-celebrate because they're so limited. Yung mga success, dapat natin i-celebrate because it's so difficult to succeed and thrive at this time. And yet, the creativity and the effort that was poured in to be able to reap success was monumental. That's why it produced results. For those people who are sorrowful, having it difficult, challenged, ang resources nila, sobrang limited. Ang options nila ngayon, sobrang limited. Because not everybody can support them. Because the resources are limited. The options to go out and to work on some goals are limited. So therefore, amplified din yung worry, yung concern, yung fear. So when I listen to these stories, I shouldn't just brush them aside as, ganun talaga ngayon kasi may pandemya. Or, ganyan kasi talaga, magaling talaga yan kahit na before the pandemic. Do you understand what I mean? Na parang minsan nagiging ganun na rin ako. No? I brush things aside because may pandemya. The role of the pandemic over our lives is definitely significant. But we shouldn't give it as much power as we do. Ako nga sa isang portion lang sa being able to feel. Because it is a reality right now. It is not an event. It is a reality. It is going to linger for a long time. So therefore, the closer we are to the fact that it shouldn't occupy as much space in our realities as it should be something that we endeavor to do. No, don't give it as much attention or don't give it as much power over your lives as it already has. No, tama na yung we recognize it, but that we should be able to go past it. Not only in our reasoning, not only in our feeling, but in the way we live our lives every day. Of course, we should be very, very careful. Of course, we should protect ourselves from getting it, but the role that it plays in our lives should not be something that hinders us from growing, hinders us from succeeding, and in my case, hinder me from feeling. I'm spending a lot of time with myself. I might as well do the first one, and that is to process my feelings, name it, and really, really ask myself the questions that I throw at other people. Not only questions in terms of solutions or actions taken, but really ask myself questions in terms of how I feel and how things are affecting me emotionally and psychologically. Second is to be able to reach out to other people, process those feelings, name those feelings, bouncing it off with other people so that I can, um, I can reach out as well and not lose connection. And third, to be able to dig deep into the successes and the joys and the sorrows of other people, because what we are going through, humanly speaking, is monumental. But that we should limit the role of COVID in all of that. All of these are challenges per se, and that we are going through it with as much humanity as we can, whether it's COVID or another thing, because this is how we are going to grow as a person. If we are able to, just give enough space for the challenges to challenge us and not to overcome us. That is our Forward Friday for this week, and the first one that we have for 2021. I wish that I be able to pursue this journey towards sincerity over the next 12 months. No, I'm not giving it a time limit, but I want to be able to feel more. I want to be able to connect more. I want to be able to know exactly where my feelings sit at a certain time, so that when somebody else approaches me, I can also give them the same sincerity and the same, be able to process the same things with them, with more empathy and more vulnerability, so that we can all celebrate being human together. Hope to see you again next week. Let us continue our quest for joy, and hopefully with the challenges that are ahead of us, we're not only equipped with joy, we're also equipped with courage and the ability to be wise in using all these opportunities for growth. See you next week. Bye.